only Chicagoans can make Chicago-style hot dogs. At least that's the theory anyways.
But can local Chicagoans tell the difference? Well, I'm here to test out that theory. But before I start my experiment, I'm going to need to find a hot dog that was professionally made.
President Obama decided he wanted to have a picnic for the senators and the House of Representatives and all their families. So they were trying to decide what kind of food to serve at the picnic, and they had a committee to decide that. Okay, so Senator Durbin, who is a customer here, was on the committee, and he said, if you want to do Chicago-style hot dogs, you have to call Byron's.
The hot dogs at Byron's is supplied by Vienna Beef Franks, but is the store-bought version the same?
The guys in the hot dog stand probably are a little bit more adept at cook times and cook temperatures.
If the bread was touching the metal, it would get hard because it dries out because of the transfer of heat. So that's why we put these plastics underneath there.
Also, they've got an advantage because a lot of the hot dog stands steam their hot dogs.
Yeah, and then in here, you can see there's water in here as well,
as opposed to boil their hot dogs.
I looked into buying the Vienna Chicago hot dog set, which includes all the condiments, buns, and the hot dogs themselves. But
the hot dog was kind of a inexpensive meal, and for a nickel, you could get a hot dog, a bun, and all the ingredients on top. We call it dragging it through the garden.
There's the tartness of the mustard, the sweetness of the relish, the fresh crunch of the onions, the acidity of the tomatoes, and the tartness of the pickles, and all the colors of those foods, by the way, and the taste, they all go together well.
You know, the Italians contributed the little pepper, the Greeks did the relish, the Germans the mustard. So, different things were put on it that were part of their culture. And then we kind of absorbed all of them, kind of not unlike the melting pot Chicago probably is considered now in terms of, diversity.
so I bought the ingredients from a local store and followed the instructions of the back of the packet. Then, after steaming the buns, I started assembling the Chicago hot dog together. It was a bit difficult trying to fit everything into such a small bun, but I made it work. Now, time to test taste.
I feel like I can tell when a hot dog is like a Chicago dog or not. Like I can tell when it tastes good versus just like your standard
falling apart over here.
boil in a pot,
A lot of things make the Chicago dog good. I mean, obviously there's lots of ingredients to it. I think I'm a big fan of pickles, so the pickle is really the topper for me.
I will say though, I like ketchup on my hot dog, so don't tell anyone.
Yeah, I really can't tell between the two. I would say the only thing that's throwing me off is the bun.
Yeah, because I'm not used to seeing this type of bun.
This one isn't as salty. This one is really salty.
I think it's this one.
I feel like it's a trick.
The meatier bun.
Because in my head, I'm like, this looks like, it was made in a restaurant.
I'm not completely sure. But I think the giveaway on the non-authentic one is that there's not a pickle spear. It's a flat pickle, which is not super common. But they both taste very authentic.
I was gonna say, especially for someone who probably doesn't eat them that often, they would not know.
No.
And even I'm not 100% sure.
But I like them both.
Which one do you think is restaurant made and which one do you think is homemade?
Okay, I'm gonna also expose myself as your roommate because I definitely saw buns that had poppy seeds on them in our house.
Verdict is the one without the poppy seeds is the one from a restaurant, and the one with the poppy seeds is what I made.
Okay. Amazing. I was gonna say,
you did a really good job.
I was gonna say, this looks like something you would get at a restaurant. So that's why I was like, maybe she's trying to trick us.
My other theory was, I wasn't gonna say it, but the bun's soggier.
Which is a restaurant, yeah.
It's, I feel like at a lot of restaurants, Portillo's has a really soggy Chicago dog, and I know that's kind of gross description, but it makes it really good.
Looks like local Chicagoans can tell the difference between a professional and amateur Chicago hot dog. But if you're really craving an authentic Chicago hot dog, you might not be too far away from just making it at home.